Welcome to the Aki Culture Club. What's up, everyone? I'm your co-founder, Damien.
And I'm Nick.
Nick, are you ready to kick off the 33rd episode of our club meeting?
Let this meeting commence, Damien.
Let's do this thing. Intro music, and here we are. All right, Nick, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Damien. Not too bad. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Just got back from a little vacation, hopped right into some anime, and now I'm ready to do our show.
This man got off the plane and was watching anime as he was walking down the stairs to get off the plane just so we could do this podcast today.
I used up all the time available from the touchdown to when I got home. So I've only been home for like 2 hours right now. I haven't even showered, which is, I guess, not good. But it was that or miss it. So I guess, sacrifices need to be made to make
Gotta
this
give
show.
the fans what they want, Dingus.
I totally agree. I haven't even shaved. I'm looking musty. But it's okay though. Do I look tan at all? Do I look
You
good?
do. You look a little burnt.
I did get a little burn. I got a little bit of that Florida heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either way, Nick, this was a short week. We have 3 episodes. So, guys, this is going to actually be a pretty short episode, too, which is not bad. But, I don't know how do we want to start, Nick?
I mean, we've been starting with My Hero a lot. So we can hop right into My Hero.
Perfect. Okay. Is this like the episode of nothingness again?
Kinda is. Although I will say this episode has further hammered down my point of what is going to happen, my prediction.
Yeah, is this your prediction that the end all be all, like Deku gives his power away prediction, or
that Endeavor is gonna die, and there's gonna be this promising young class of heroes that is going to take the place of all of the heroes. And in this episode, we found out, excuse me, that they're doing these work study programs because they want the young heroes to actually have a chance and to be like the backup plan in this fight.
The backup plan.
Yeah.
Although we did see a slideshow montage of everyone in 1A and 1B,
yes,
like working together and working in their agencies.
Yes, we did.
So we're seeing everybody right now, what they're doing.
Yeah. And Endeavor seems pretty cool now that we're actually getting to talk about him. He seems like he's going to be a good teacher. Like, he understood what Deku said. Like, Deku went on that like 2-minute rant about his powers, and Endeavor just digested it all and was like, oh yeah, so you need to learn how to control this power. Cool. Like, he's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wrote that down. I was like, oh, is this like the Endeavor is actually not that bad episode? Like, is this like propaganda for us to be like, oh yeah, he abused his wife and Shoto's mom, but he's not that bad of a guy,
Yep. And we're gonna grow to like him more. And just when he's our favorite character, he's gonna die.
He's gonna die. You know what? I want to say this right now, Nick. If he dies, I'm Venmoing you $25.
All right. How about $10 if he gets severely injured and can't use his powers again?
Well, done. You heard it here. If that happens, I will do that. I'll Venmo Nick.
That's a deal, man.
That's a deal. Because honestly, I see he may die, but like I'm just like it becomes like dire straits after that.
Yeah.
Like Endeavor's like the last like strong big hero left. Like Hawks is great, but he's like a tactically, strategically good hero.
Yeah, we're getting rid of this whole system of overpowered heroes and the number one hero, and it's going to be we all work together to solve our problems. And that's again why I think Deku's going to have the ability to give power to other people.
Man, I think you're just calling this whole show at this point.
I feel like I've seen it already.
I feel like we just got to wrap this whole freaking thing up. Oh my god. Well, I'll be on the lookout for whether or not Endeavor. I guess everyone will be looking out if Endeavor does end up dying. Manga readers, don't spoil anything for us.
Please don't. But
Please.
mark this date, July 14th, 2021. I predicted, Nick, the end of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes true, I want my $25.
I want my $25, man. I want it now. We don't know until the very end, but we will know at the end of this arc, I guess, if he dies. But at the end of the show, man, I could see it.
I don't think Endeavor's going to die in this arc.
It's
not enough time. It's going to be in like when this whole revolution and after we get the My Villain Academia arc, and it's like the big battles happening. That's when he dies.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll still hold true. I'll still hold it, but yeah, that would be wild if he dies.
Yeah, write it down. Write
that down. Nick, I do have another question for you, or observation for that matter. In the beginning of the episode, we got like they do a really good job in this show of like really splitting episodes up. They don't follow one character continuously. So in the beginning, we saw Hawks talking with the League of Villains. Did you notice how like technologically advanced the League of Villains is now?
Very, very technologically advanced.
Like they seemed kind of like serious and more well put together than they were just kind of like a ragtag group of villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had Dobby sitting behind a computer looking at photos of the Three Musketeers, you know?
Yeah, it's like they have the villain headquarters now.
Yeah, they have like a huge, like legitimate HQ and other places around the country.
Yeah.
So it feels like they were like, I guess, subtly telling us that they are way more well connected and serious than that they originally led on to believe.
Yeah, while we were given a fucking tournament arc for 15 episodes, the League of Villains had their shit together and they built themselves a headquarters.
They were figuring them. They were like, how are we actually going to take over these guys? You know? Oh, okay. We're going to take this serious. And we're over here watching 1A and 1B, making sure we know all their quirks.
That's pretty much it.
Oh my God. I feel like speaking of damn tournament arcs, Nick.
Yeah.
To your eternity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that would have been a good segue. However,
what?
I don't want. We're 7.5 minutes into this show already, and I feel like that would be a great segue into To Your Eternity, which is like so. Like, obviously, this is the beginning of a new arc, right? The Jananda Island arc. I'm guessing that's what we're calling Jananda. And just jumping to the very end, obvious. This is a tournament arc.
He is going to be a gladiator on a prisoner island.
It's a damn tournament arc, Nick.
Yeah. I mean, how perfect. He wanted to go find a way to train and get stronger. Why not a tournament arc?
Oh, look at you just jumping right on in, Fushi. You asked for a thing and you got it. You know, it's how the universe works almost, you know?
Yeah. I was kind of excited for them to go to this island that they were talking about with all the animals that, you know, like that would have been cool. But
would have been. Now we're in a tournament arc.
I just thought of this. I mean, he's not going to lose because he's immortal, of course. But like every person that he kills, because it's gladiator, is going to be to their death. Is he going to be them? Can he be them then?
Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. I think he's going to be saving up and he's going to get a lot of people to fight these knockers.
That's kind of what it seems like. This is kind of his perfect training then.
It like really truly is. Like he's going to be. He's immortal, so he's going to be just killing a bunch of people and then taking their form, and then he's going to be able to shapeshift into a bunch of different type of gladiators and prisoners and stuff like that, and have a ton of different weapons in his arsenal. Because even at the end, we saw like he got smacked in the head with an axe.
Yeah,
and he took the one kid's bow and arrow and like rubbed it on his hand.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a lot of different powers.
Yeah, and his whole like he was walking around that river, like he was rubbing a rock on himself. He's like, oh, I can do this and I'll gain this. I'll be able to create this. Like it's setting itself up for he's going to get just an overload of stuff because that's his whole goal right now. And
Yeah.
it's great.
He wants to avenge. And we also saw that we know that March got taken away by the Knockers. And in this episode, he really came to the realization of multiple different things.
Yeah.
One of them being that, like, the narrator did tell him to leave earlier than he should have, like, and he stayed too long. And he also kind of figured out that, like, different forms have different purposes, and those forms that he's taking on, those people, they're like the knowledge that he's learning from them can also be taken away as well.
Yeah, because he didn't know who March was, and March was like his first big encounter. I mean, there was the boy Fushi, who he is now, but like he was a dog for all of that, and March like taught him so much, and he doesn't even remember who she is.
Exactly. And I think he's coming to terms with that. If he doesn't defend himself, that's what's going to end up of him.
Yeah.
And I think he's really scared to lose the Goo Goo form, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going to transform into it because he doesn't want to lose it.
I think you're right. He's going to be way too scared because we are seeing now his apprehension in so many different scenarios. Like, he didn't want to leave the island. He didn't want to stay in that village too long. He didn't want to get on the boat. Like, he doesn't want to put anyone into harm's way. And he doesn't want the Knockers to, like, attack him around other people.
Yeah, which is like a double-edged sword because he can't get stronger if he doesn't do anything. But if he doesn't get stronger, then he's going to lose.
Exactly. And I think, with that being said, the gladiator style fight in the prison is a perfect place to be for him right now. Because if the Knockers do end up attacking, they're not really going to hurt anyone that he cares about.
Yeah.
Maybe besides the old woman.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a cool little, like, I wasn't expecting to see her or anyone that we've really met so far. Again, I thought it was going to be like a new journey. We're going to meet new people. So it was kind of nice to see Peorian
come back.
Yeah. And she's pretty much like, I don't really care if I die. So I'm going to hang out with you. It's kind of what I got out of it, right?
Yeah, she's like, I just want to do something different in my life. I don't really care.
Yeah,
which is old. Cool. She's old. She don't care. But she left the booze man and Rianne back at the house. Yeah, and honestly, what just came to my mind as well when I was watching it was, we've seen Gugu become close with somebody and then lose them. And we even said that ourselves, that if that kept happening arc after arc after arc, it would end up getting old because it becomes predictable. And I think that this island arc that we're starting now, those kids that we're watching, I don't think are going to die.
No, I think he's going to help them escape the island.
I think you're right. I think those kids, based off the interactions that we saw with the dude leading the prisoners, they're like pseudo prisoners almost. Like, they help them, like they're part of the pirates, but they don't want to be there. So like, he's going to help them escape, and I don't think that they're going to end up dying.
I think you might be right. This might be the cycle breaking of constant death.
I think so. I think he's going to get his forms from the people that he kills in the gladiator ring.
Yeah. And I know we came in, like, when we first started talking about it, we we're like kind of upset that there's another tournament arc we have to go through. But one, I don't think it's going to last very long because he's immortal, and they're going to be like, well, we're going to stop this because he's not going to die.
Yeah.
And two, I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, it's going to be so sick. Yeah. I think at the very beginning, he's not going to understand the mechanics of like a gladiator fight, but then eventually he's going to pick up on it, and then he's going to fight his way up, obviously, like you said, very quickly because he is immortal.
Yeah. Yeah. We might see it. Maybe he gets angry for the first time. We haven't really seen him get angry at anything.
Maybe you're right.
He constantly is just getting axes to the head and he hates it, and like anger boils and he just snaps and kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, I could totally see anger being an emerging emotion that we see in this arc. Even what if he kills everyone in the gladiator or wins this tournament and they don't grant him his wish, or they kill Peorian, Yeah.
And he just becomes a bear and kills everybody.
Yeah, like, well, he gets betrayed, yeah, and he just murders everyone for the betrayal, you know?
Sounds good to me. Sounds pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I mean, let's see it, you know? Why not? Why not, Nick?
Yeah. But we did learn a lot this episode. A lot of interactions with the old man, his like creator. We found that he
Yes.
can like summon him to get there. He's just like, hey, where are you? And he showed up. So
You're right. I even wrote that down too. Like that's a huge component that I feel like we almost just skipped over.
yeah,
The narrator, yeah. So I picked up on a few things. One, he's not an eternal being,
no,
but he can make an eternal being or an immortal being, which is interesting.
yeah,
He's also a hologram
yeah.
or something of a spiritual essence,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not a physical being. Or his physical being isn't on Earth, I think.
Right, right.
And it's up to Fushi to figure out how to defeat the knockers, but he himself cannot defeat them. But he knows where they're at.
That's big. I think that's a pretty big thing because like he's obviously always there if Fushi can just be like, hey, where are you? Come here. So do you think he actually gives him a warning this time that hey, the knockers are gonna be here in like 10 minutes, maybe get away from here?
I would sure hope so. Because now that every time the knockers have attacked and he hasn't showed up, he just like kind of like let it happen.
Right. Yeah, dickhead.
Yeah, like is he trying to force Fushi to like learn on his own?
Yeah, like tough love. I'm a
Yeah.
parent.
Because he did say, like, oh, I'm a parent, you know, and who knows what kind of there's so many different types of parenting styles, you know. He could be the parent that is mean, you know,
Mm.
who's the tough love one. It's not helpful.
Yeah, this all-knowing being that can create an immortal orb. You'd think he'd help out a little bit more.
You think he would, you know, like it would be nice to see some sort of help. Although he did say to him, you know, like if you get all your forms taken away, you are going to turn back into the orb and you're not going to remember anything. And he's like, and I really could care less.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if there are more than one type of Fushi orb spirits out in the world that
I
he's
think
put
so.
out there.
I think so.
You know, it gave me the vibe that like not all the cards are in all the chips are in Fushi, you know, like there's others.
Yeah, like he's putting orbs on different planets to collect and preserve the material of those planets.
Yeah, like
That's
he's
his
more
end
like
goal.
he's like a universal being almost.
Right.
Huh. He's like the Watcher, I think they call that the Watcher in
Yeah.
Marvel. I don't know.
Yeah. And Fushi's just like the sixth child, you know. He's got a lot of other people to pay attention to.
And he's like, God, I gotta keep coming back here and try to tell him multiple times he don't listen. My gosh.
You're lucky I'm a hologram or you get a backhand right now.
I'll just transform you into whatever I want at this point. My gosh. But yeah,
Excited to see where it goes.
me
Dingus.
too. Me too. And it feels like it's just, you know, it's just the beginning. Again, I feel like I keep saying this. No, I see it. I do say like every 4 or 5 episodes, we're in the beginning of an arc cycle. So it's just kind of figuring things out. We're not really in it just yet.
Yeah. And I feel like I say at least once every episode, oh, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, because it's true. I mean, if it wasn't, that would be a bad sign, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
We would be like, oh man, this sucks, you know, but it doesn't. It's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's To Your Eternity.
It's To Your Eternity. No segue.
No segue. I don't have one. Not now.
It's a little jet lagged. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm just got off a plane, got up super early this morning. Anyway, third and final episode of today, Tokyo Revengers, episode 14. Tokyo Revengers.
So Tackemitchy is back in the past again.
Yes,
From the previous episode.
Where we like him. I personally like him in the past.
Yeah, I mean, future Tackemitchy is a loser, so
yeah, this is true.
Yeah. Again, something I feel like I say a lot is not a lot happened in this episode.
Really, I feel like we learned
We did.
a lot.
We did.
So
Not a lot of action happened.
yes, that's very true. It was a lot of talking
Yeah. So
in one
it starts
place.
off with they're appointing the captain of the third division.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and who is that captain?
Kasaki.
This dude who's ugly and he's been in the shadows this whole time, who's kind of been our foe this whole time. Yeah, he looks like Snake.
He looks like Snake Boy. Snake Boy.
Yeah. So he's the new captain of the third division, and that is because he's from Mobius. And we learned about Valhalla a couple episodes ago.
We did.
And the only way for Tokyo Manji to really stand a chance against Valhalla is to grow their ranks, and that is by getting Kasaki from Mobius, and I'm assuming more Mobius people will follow.
Yeah, yeah, and I also think he not only is going to recruit people from Mobius, but he's also going to help Mikey restructure Toman and form different alliances within the gang, because we saw that like Baji's leaving. Tackemitchy obviously punched Kasaki, which is like out of line because at that time he wasn't in Toman yet. And we're just seeing like a lot of instances of infighting. And he even said it with that shit-eating grin. He was like, "Oh, Toman is disorganized. Toman needs a lot of work."
Yeah, like he's trying to get his snake fingers up in there. Who the hell was Baji? Where'd he come from? He's important now.
Yeah, apparently Baji has been important this whole time, and I guess it was something that we didn't realize, that there was some sort of inner gang conflict with Baji that we did not see at all.
Right. We haven't. This is the first time we've seen him.
Yeah, exactly. So he's the first division commander. We did see a little bit of him in the fight where all the commanders showed up with all their guys, and like they rolled up the 5 different commanders. He was one of them.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah, he threw his hair up into a ponytail when he first got there.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, this is going to be fun." And that's when they started fighting, when Hanma showed up.
Okay, that's kind of cool that we have seen him before, but like we didn't know who he was,
We
because
never
I thought he just came out of nowhere.
No, he was never introduced as a character. He was just there.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
he's an important character. It's cool that they did that.
Yeah, he is a very important character. He's one of the founding members of Toman.
Yeah.
Which is like insane.
We were told there's 5, but there's actually 6.
Actually 6.
Ooh.
And his name is Kazutora.
Yeah, which when I first saw his picture, I thought it was actually Hanma.
Really?
Mobius, just because of the tattoos, but it's definitely not.
It's not. I thought it looked like, it honestly looked like Tackemitchy for a quick second. Yeah. And I was like, wait a second, did him joining Toman right there change the trajectory of, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense because this was in the past.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, maybe he's already changing the timeline, but I was like, that would be changing the timeline in the future, not the past. So it was not working. But yeah, there's obviously a 6th one that Mikey conveniently let out. And yeah, like he knows now that there's someone else, but Mikey doesn't know that he knows.
Yep, which is probably going to lead to more infighting, which is going to lead to a destabilized gang, and that's where Kasaki steps in.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be taking full advantage of the situation, because it seems like Kazutora was a founding member of Toman, and he looks, based off of the conversation, the brief second we saw him with Baji, that he's the leader or he's someone involved with Valhalla.
Oh,
that's the connection I made. I'm like, oh, he's obviously in Valhalla. And I feel like that could have been troublesome for Mikey. That's why he didn't want to mention it. However, I do want to say this. When Tackemitchy woke up from being knocked out by Kasaki, did it feel like Mikey appeared out of thin air?
Yeah, kind of. Why?
I was just thinking, did he like come back from the future?
You're still
real
on
quick.
This.
I think he did. I feel like he came back from the future, he just dipped out for a second to see if adding, like, accepting Tackemitchy into the gang changed anything in the future, you know? And he's like,
Yeah.
all right, nothing changed. Got to go back, you know? And he went
He's
back in time.
he's still on it.
I think he is, dude. I think he jumped back into the future and then went back to the past again. Because like he's like when Takemichi said, like, oh, Kasaki's a bad guy. I can't explain it to you right now, but Kasaki's a bad guy. He's like, okay. He's like, I know he's a bad guy. Like he knows he's not a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like but he's obviously still like allowing him in. And I just feel like Mikey knows. Mikey is a time traveler, and maybe Kasaki's a time traveler because he keeps screwing everything up. Someone's in there messing with the timeline as it's happening, you know?
Yeah, I mean, why is it only Takemichi, like we said before? So
Yeah.
someone else has to have the ability to.
Someone else has to have the ability. There's no other way that he changes the past, jumps into the future. Hina's alive, Akun's alive, like, you know, but then Hanma gets directed by Kasaki to kill both of them and have Akun kill both of them and then kill himself. Like it just there's something that's not adding up here that just doesn't make any sense. That's all.
Someone's doing it. Someone's pulling the strings.
I think it's Kasaki, yeah.
It makes more sense for it to be Kasaki than Mikey. I think Mikey's just along for the ride and he's an important character, but Kasaki's the one really, you know, in the background, snaking around.
But what I already know the episode title of this episode. It's gonna be great. He's a little snake boy. Sneaky snake. Slithering on through the gang of Toman. Going through, you know?
Yeah, and he's ugly.
Ugly boy. Snaky boy. But
where
were we? Oh, there was some humor in this episode. I was down with that, you know, especially when Tackemitchy got accepted into what the division, second, fifth, I don't know, one of them.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, good to have you," and with the little heart next to it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I have never seen that in a subtitle before.
No, I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah. But do you think he's actually like his plan is to take over Toman? He can fix the future without taking over Toman. Like he can just get rid of Kasaki.
Yeah, he could just kill Kasaki, honestly.
Yeah.
That could be it. He could have ended that this episode. Like he could have just stabbed him and killed him.
Right then and there.
And that would have been the end.
Yeah. But then we wouldn't have a show.
But yeah. Then the show would be like, all right, well, wrap things up. It's over.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have this new arc we're about to get, which is the Banji retrieval arc. Banji, that's his name, right?
The Banji retrieval. Oh my god! I think this is the Bloody October arc.
Oh,
something crazy like that. It's the Banji retrieval. That's what we're calling it. Screw it. The Banji retrieval arc.
Yeah, well, that's his whole goal now is to bring back Banji, and if he doesn't do it, for some reason Mikey's going to kill him. Which I didn't understand that. Why did he say that?
I don't know. It seemed like he was very gung ho on murdering him. Which is weird.
He's like, you brought this trade to me, so if you don't do it, I'm gonna kill you. Does that make sense?
It's like, damn, bro, why do you gotta do that?
Yeah, Mikey doesn't really make sense half the time, but
no, I just don't know. I don't know if he's the same person every single time. That's all. I think he's a different person. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not sure if that was the Mikey from what the future, the past. I'm not sure. I won't say.
Yeah, guess we'll find out in 30 episodes from now.
Hey, 30 episodes. I think we got some more time left. You know, I think we got a little bit more episodes. I think there's 24. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be more than one season, right? This is a really popular anime.
Yeah. There's definitely got to be more.
Yeah,
there has to be. It would be weird if there wasn't.
Right.
They definitely won't wrap it all up in one shot. Impossible.
It is kind of crazy to think about. There is a finite timeline that this story can take place because it's all within 12 years.
Exactly. I wonder if that will ever lead us to a time skip. Like, because you're right, there is such a finite amount of time. And it's like, he could never go back in time, like from the time that he first time jumped to his current moment of joining Toman. He can't go back into any of that and change anything.
No.
So it's like he gets like, which is weird, like a one shot at going back in time to fix things.
Yeah.
So you're right, it is a finite amount of time. I wonder if that will ever lead us to a time skip, though, which I couldn't imagine that even happening.
No, I think unless the story starts to take place in present time and he's not in the past, once he fixes it and comes back, like there's got to be a time where he either fixes it and everything's good, or like he dies and then the show's over.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the way it's gonna end.
Oh yeah, probably. It's got to either fixes it or he dies.
Yeah, I'm not making a prediction because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I still don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. There's so many volumes of the manga too. Like there's like 21 volumes of the manga out, and I can only imagine. Like, I wonder where this is covering. I can just look it up honestly to see where this is covering up to. Adapted from chapter 37, 38, and 39 was this episode.
There's multiple chapters in a volume, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
I'm just gonna look it up. When does chapter 37 start and which volume? Volume 5.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
we got a lot to go.
There's a lot left. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like with My Hero, I feel like it's easy to make a prediction because it's a lot like things I've seen before. With this, I've never really seen anything like this, so I can't make any predictions. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in My Hero either. It's just I just have this hunch of some things that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, once you see Naruto, you can kind of make any type of prediction, right?
Yeah, Naruto does play a part in it, but there are other shows that play a part in my prediction.
This is true. Which ones do you think play the most? Like, what are some other shows that play part in your prediction?
Definitely not. See, I don't want to spoil Naruto for you.
All right, don't
tell you where I get certain things.
No, we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I will say I get some from Naruto. I definitely get something from Game of Thrones. You're never gonna watch Game of Thrones, are you?
No, fuck that.
Okay, well, Jaime Lannister is essentially like that arc of Endeavor where you hate him at first, and then you love him, and then that's Jaime Lannister.
Oh, geez. Okay,
that's like a common, but it's not just in Game of Thrones. It's the only one I can think of, but that happens, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a common. I forget. Yeah, I feel like there is a website called like tvtropes.com or something like that, and it tells you all the tropes in TV. And I wonder if that has like a certain name to it, you know?
It has to. There's definitely got to be something.
I wonder.
Are you going to look it up?
Yeah, why not? You know? Can you hear my clicking of a mechanical keyboard?
Yeah, you fancy mechanical keyboard. Damien's got his cool computer.
Yeah, I just added some tactile switches to my new keyboard. They're Kiwis from the Key Company. Yeah, they're freaking awesome keycaps. And they're very clicky because I switched from linears to tactile, which if anyone knows mechanical keyboards, there's a slight bump at the end, so you can hear it go clack, 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 clack. Very thocky is what they call it, Nick.
You like it?
I love it. I actually bought more too. If anyone knows about mechanical keyboards, I don't know. I bought tangerines as well. They look like little pumpkins, but they're called tangerines. And these are linears actually. And these are going to go into a keyboard that I'm building right now called the Portico. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the redemption arc.
Is it the redemption arc?
I mean, kinda. Adding the death to the end is something different, but it's essentially what it is. They suck at first, they redeem themselves. You like them? Like think Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which you haven't watched, but you have to.
No, I'm not. I don't want to. No, I'm just kidding. I will eventually, I promise. Okay. tvtropes.org. Let's look. Endeavor. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What's his things? 90s anti-hero,
Not an anti-hero.
absurdly youthful father, abusive parent, action dad, adaptation expansion, uh always second best. Oh, I don't think I want to read anything more. I don't think this was a good idea. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Never mind. I'm not doing that. Okay. Just so y'all know. It's the thing is TV Tropes is graceful enough to uh spoiler out, like block out the text, but they don't block out the actual like name of the trope. So I'm like reading like the names of the trope. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm definitely not going to click on that spoiler text because that is something that I don't want to get myself into at this current moment.
Well, you can actually look up the character Endeavor and see the tropes.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was doing because I was like, oh, there can't be too many different tropes, like how many are, and then he's got like a lot, like there's a lot of tropes that kind of are involved with him. Like there's got to be over 100. It looks like I should have been better trope. The inferiority superiority complex. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah,
that was a spoiler. Oh,
I'm not gonna click that link. I'm not gonna click that link.
I kept scrolling. That was a spoiler that I should not have looked at. Damn.
You just said you were gonna get off, and here we are.
I think it's actually something that we've talked about in the past privately,
Okay.
briefly for a second or two. So I didn't read it. I didn't click on the text. I did not click on the spoiler text, but I read the first like few things, and
yeah, I want to know now, but I also don't.
it's not anything. I don't know. I think we've already talked about it, honestly.
Just spoiler warning. If you don't want to hear, skip 10 seconds.
Skip. Ready. Dobby has a personal issue with Endeavor.
Oh, we talked about that.
I thought we did, right? We did.
Yeah, we thought he was like the child of Endeavor.
Like a bastard son or something.
Yeah.
Like the failed attempt at making a multi-quirk kid. I don't know. But maybe that's what it is, or maybe I don't freaking know. Who knows, man?
I don't know. Get off the site before we ruin anything else.
I have completely exited out. I refuse to look at it again.
Short club meeting today, Dingus.
Yes, this was an easy, short one. I'm happy. Next week, everyone, we're going to be watching Peachboy Riverside. The Detective Is Already Dead, Moonlit Fantasy. And honestly, Nick, I've heard through the grapevine, right, that the detective. Oh, I'm messing around with your Zoom camera. Hold on. The Detective Is Already Dead is one of the shows to watch for the season.
That was the one that like seemed coolest to me.
Ooh, yeah. It has a Death Note vibe to it, they say.
Yeah, we even said that.
We did.
Dude, we're pretty good at this.
We are pretty dang good at this. I'm not gonna lie. We can pick some good ones. Now the other two I haven't heard anything about through the grapevine at all, but we're gonna find out. I think we picked a goofy one with Moonlight Fantasy, and then Peachboy Riverside, obviously, I heard that was going to be a good one. Who knows if it is or isn't yet. Sunny Boy, I heard, is really great. And then the Aquatope on White Sand, I heard, is really, really great. I don't know if you would be interested into the Aquatope of White Sand, though. I think it's Aquatope of White Sand. But it's kind of like two girls meet at an aquarium and they kind of fall in love.
Sounds like your kind of show.
No, we're not going down. We're not going down that path, Nick.
Just so everyone knows, we're gonna do the old Aki Culture Club Commandment 2 for these, and we're gonna give the 3-episode try, and we'll let you know how they are next week.
Next week, everyone.
If they suck, that gives us, we're allowed to get rid of them because we gave 3-episode tries.
Absolutely. That's it.
All right. I think we're done.
Here. Nick.
Tell them where they can find us, Damien.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming to the 33rd club meeting. Wow, 33 meetings. This is amazing. For all things anime, manga, somewhat manga related. This is your after school podcast with two wannabe weaves. We detail the season's newest shows and analysis of some old favorites. You can find us at akiculture.club or at akiculture club on social media.
It's only one way to end these.
Peace out.
See ya.